So, good morning, students. And today's our topic is vapor pressure. Topic is vapor pressure. So, this vapor pressure can be defined as pressure exerted by vapor above liquid surface when there is a equilibrium in between vaporization and condensation at given temperature. Now we'll explain this. See, remember that the water or liquid, it has a tendency to flow, and this liquid flows in layers. Suppose we are taking some liquid in a container, in a closed container. So in that container there will be so many layers of the liquid. Now we are assuming that this one is our surface layer. Now to vaporize this liquid, we will supply heat from outside. This ground layer molecule, as they are closer to the source of heat, तो क्या होगा, this ground layer molecules will absorb energy, and as a result their energy will increase, and thus ground layer के जो molecule हैं, they will leave its own layer because they have absorbed the energy and their energy increases, so they will leave their own layer and move upward. But above this layer there is another layer. So the molecule of ground layer which comes upward after absorbing energy, this one will collide with the molecule of the upper layer, and this collision will be realistic or non-elastic. Non-elastic collision means energy transfer takes place, energy exchange takes place. Now what will happen? This molecule which belongs to the lower layer, after absorbing energy, will collide with the molecule of upper layer, and during the collision will transfer its energy to the upper layer molecule. As a result, the energy of this upper layer molecule will increase, and this upper layer molecule will leave its own layer and move upward. Is it clear? So this process goes on from layer to layer, and finally the layer which is lying just below the surface layer, its molecule moves upward, and then it collides with the molecule of surface layer. Again this collision is also non-elastic, means energy transfer यहाँ पर होगा, तो this colliding molecule will transfer its energy to the surface molecule, and as a result the energy of this surface molecule increases and it leaves the surface and comes above liquid in the form of vapor. So this process is called vaporization. Is it clear? अब क्या होगा, when we are continuously heating, तो here above liquid vapor will be collected. अब क्या होगा, vapor is a gaseous state, तो vapor molecules randomly moves, and during their movement they collides over the surface also of the liquid and gets condensed. So this process is called condensation. तो इनिशियली केवल और केवल वेपोराइजेशन होता है, और जब vapors sufficiently हो जाती dense हो जाती हैं, then condensation also takes place. एक टाइम ऐसा आता है कि the rate of vaporization or rate of condensation becomes equal, means a equilibrium state is achieved here. So at this condition, when the rate of vaporization or rate of condensation is equal, that time the pressure exerted by liquid vapor, which will be measured by this manometer, is called vapor pressure of liquid at given temperature, or at the temperature at which we are performing the experiment. Is it clear? Clear? Now, so see, the definition is the pressure exerted by vapor above liquid surface, above here, when there is a equilibrium, means when we will heat a liquid in a closed container, vaporization and condensation both process will be there, and when the rate of vaporization and rate of condensation will become equal, so that time the pressure exerted by the vapor will be called vapor pressure of the liquid. Is it clear? Now after that we'll discuss the factors affecting vapor pressure. What are the factors which affects the vapor pressure? So here the first factor is, it is nature of liquid. The nature of liquid, whose vapor pressure is to calculate. So vapor pressure depends over the nature of that liquid. See, what happens, suppose जो vapor pressure है, it depends over the magnitude of intermolecular forces of in between the liquid molecules. If in between liquid molecules the intermolecular forces are strong, so higher energy will be required to vaporize it, or if intermolecular forces are less, so lesser energy will be required. It means vapor pressure is inversely proportional to the magnitude of intermolecular force. If intermolecular forces will be strong, so higher energy will be required or lesser evaporation will be there, so vapor pressure will be less. If intermolecular forces are weak, so lesser evaporation will be more, and that's why vapor pressure will be high. Now the second factor which affects the vapor pressure, it is temperature. Temperature. See, generally what happens, why does gas exert the pressure? So you know, gas exerts pressure due to the collision of gas molecule over inner wall of the container. यहाँ पर when we'll raise the temperature, तो vapor के molecules की kinetic energy बढ़ेगी और वो inner wall पे ज़्यादा force से, ज़्यादा kinetic energy से collide करेंगे, तो as a result internal pressure बढ़ जाएगा. Means generalization is vapor pressure is directly proportional to the temperature. Why? Because as with increase in temperature, the kinetic energy of vapor molecules also increases. See, there is a quantitative relationship between the vapor pressure and temperature. And the quantitative relationship between the vapor pressure and temperature is given by an expression and is known as Clapeyron equation. Clapeyron equation is quantitative relationship between vapor pressure and temperature. Imagine करिए at T1 टेम्परेचर पे जो वेपर प्रेशर है is P1 और this vapor pressure becomes P2 at T2 temperature. Now the relation is log P2 over P1 equals to enthalpy of vaporization over 2.303 R 1 over T1 minus 1 over T2. This is the quantitative relationship in between the vapor pressure and temperature. At T1 temperature, vapor pressure is P1 and becomes P2 at T2 temperature. Now, the third next factor which affects the vapor pressure is surface area of liquid. Surface area of liquid. See, you know, because during vaporization only the molecules of the surface they comes out in the form of vapor. And if the surface is large, so vaporization will take place from larger area, so more vapor will be there. And if the surface is reduced, so vaporization will take place from the lesser surface area. Is it clear? So therefore, vapor pressure is directly proportional to the surface area of liquid. Why? This is because as the process vaporization is a surface phenomena. Is it clear? So these are the factors. So what is vapor pressure? It is the pressure exerted by the vapor over liquid surface. But there is a condition, there must be an equilibrium between the vaporization and condensation at the given temperature. Now, what are the factors which affects it? So first one is nature of liquid. So vaporization or vapor pressure depends over the strength of intermolecular forces. Vapor pressure is inversely proportional to the magnitude of intermolecular force. Second factor, it is temperature. Vapor pressure proportional to the temperature. And the quantitative relationship is given by the Clausius-Clapeyron equation. And third factor is surface area of the liquid. So vapor pressure is directly proportional to the surface area. Is it clear? Here, I would like to share one thing. Remember that the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute. Vapor pressure of that solution which is having non-volatile solute remains always lesser than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Let the vapor pressure of solution is denoted by P and the vapor pressure of pure solvent is denoted by P naught. So P naught will always exceed than the P, and the difference of vapor pressure of pure solvent and vapor pressure of the solution containing non-volatile solute, this one is called lowering in vapor pressure. Is it clear? So here one term is there, it is lowering in vapor pressure. So what is lowering in vapor pressure? It is a difference in vapor pressures of the pure solvent and vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute. Now we will explain why the vapor pressure of solution which contains non-volatile solute is lesser than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Assume that we are taking a binary solution. Binary solution means the solutions having two components, and the components of the solutions are A and other component is B. See, this component A, it is major component, while B, it is minor, or you can say B is your solute and A is your solvent. And here the component A means solvent, it is volatile, while component B means solute, this one is non-volatile. Now in a closed container, here we are taking the solution of A and B. So what will happen? In solution, solute particles remains uniformly distributed. See, when it was only and only pure solvent, so at the surface all the molecules were of solvent. Now V means if it is only pure solvent, so see, in this case the vaporization will take place from entire surface area. Now we are adding a non-volatile solute B in it. So this B will get uniformly distributed in this solution, and as a result some of the surface molecules of solvent will be replaced by this solute, by the non-volatile solute. So now the vaporization will take place from reduced surface area. From this area there will be no vaporization. So means once the non-volatile surface molecules of solute will occupy the surface, so as a result vaporization will take place from reduced surface area, and you know vapor pressure is proportional to the surface area. So therefore once the surface area will be reduced, so vapor pressure will be reduced, and that's why the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is lesser than the vapor pressure of pure solvent.